Hey guys, it's Cody. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new horror game In Silence, and I'm going to be walking through basically everything you have to know when first getting started. So let's get started, no BS. So there's two ways to play. You can either play as the Rake or you can play as the Survivor. So I'm going to first show you how to play as the Survivor. When you first spawn in, you're going to spawn in by your car. So there's two ways to win as the Survivor. You can either, one, find all of the different car parts, such as the key, battery, the three wheels, and fuel, or you can decide to go and hunt the Rake. And it's kind of hard to hunt the Rake, so I'm going to show you guys how to do the car parts first. So first of all, you can turn F for your flashlight, and we're going to have to try and find the car parts. I'm only going to show you some of the car parts because the map is pretty large, but there is only one map as of current. So you kind of want to just try and find different key locations. So there's a couple different houses that you can go into, which you need a car key, which you can usually find in the houses. You can also sometimes find the car battery in the houses. You can also find items, such as like the bear trap. So I'm going to click 2 and then press G, and we can drop and place the bear trap. So if the monster runs into the bear trap, then it'll be trapped for a couple seconds. But basically, you just kind of want to go... Oh! Sorry. You just want to kind of go around and try and find all of the different items that you need. So the car key usually spawns in like some of the drawers, or it can be on some of the shelves, as well as the car battery being around here too. So basically just keep going around, checking all the drawers, see if you find any of the car parts. So I'll update you when we find our first car part. So I've just been walking around and I found our first car part. It's going to be a wheel. So you have two inventory slots. You have 2 and then you have 1. So you can select between them using the keys 1 and 2, and then you can press G to place it. But I'm just going to get rid of the scarecrow because I'm going to try and find a second car part. But if you look to the left of the 1, there's actually a little like lightning bolt. That is going to be a flashbang. So if the monster grabs you, you can use a flashbang and it'll drop you from the monster's grips. I'm going to press it now just to show you what it looks like. But right now it's currently in the Halloween patch / update. So right now it's a little party popper. But also, if you look on the right side of the 2, you can see a little like speaker and a little bar right there. So that's the noise you're making. So ideally, you kind of just want to slow walk or crouch walk everywhere, because the more noise you produce, the easier it is the monster to find you. However, for the purposes of this guide, I'm just going to be running around trying to find all the parts for you. So I'm going to keep looking around for the next part. So at the very beginning, I mentioned that you can also hunt the monster. You can hunt the monster by finding these little plaques like this. There should be 4 of them, but it depends on how many are on the actual combination lock, which I'll show you later. But you want to try and find all of them. So this one says square and then it says 1. So you're going to want to remember that. It'll come in handy when we go and put the combination in. But essentially there's an armory that has a bunch of hunting rifles in it. And once you get all of the numbers and break the code, then you can get access to the hunting rifles. However, the Rake can still kill you while you're trying to do it. The Rake does take a considerable number of shots. So you're going to want some more friends with you if you want to try and take down the Rake. Also, here's the fuel. So I'm going to take the fuel. Right now I have max inventory. So right now we're going to try and find our way back to the car. And then if we find the armory, then I'll show you what that looks like too. You want to try and get familiar with different landmarks. Like the barn is in the middle. And then you're going to want to try and figure out your directions from there, because the tent and everything are going to spawn in the same spots. The items will randomly spawn, but the map state remains constant as of this patch. If you're new to the game, it's going to take you some time to try and find your bearings and find which locations are where. So I've played probably at least 2 or 3 hours of the game, and I'm struggling finding my way back to the car. So if you're struggling, don't feel alone. You're definitely not alone. And also, this is a perfect segue into the rain. So when the storm happens, the monster's senses are heightened, so they can see better, but they can't hear as well. So just like this, you can use your flashbang to get rid of the monster temporarily. So you get a speed boost, and you can run away from the monster. But I actually found the car. So I have the fuel selected, and I'm going to click on the fuel here and hold down E to repair it and pour the fuel in. As well, I'm going to hit 2 and start repairing the wheel by looking at the wheel and holding on the repair. And so basically you just have to find the key, the battery, and the other wheels. And I'm not going to find them for you right now just because they're all going to be in random locations. So you just have to check all the different houses, the barns, sometimes the tents for the wheels, and you can just go and explore and find them for yourself. But I'm going to try and find the armory for you so I can show you what that looks like. So you want to find something like this. It kind of looks like a big drop crate almost, and it's going to have a lock on this. So in this case, there's actually only 2. So you're going to have to find the square and then the X. So you want to look for the different plaques. And those plaques, I believe, can only spawn inside and or around the house. So like on the actual outside of the building. The barn usually has a lot of different places that it can spawn in. So check the barn first, and that's always going to be in the middle. So that's a good starting point. But once you find the code here, it'll open up, and then an alarm will go off, and then you can go ahead and grab your guns and start trying to kill the Rake. However, if you actually mess up this too many times, which I'll do right now, it'll lock you out. So you can't just keep guessing. I think you maybe get like 5 tries, and it'll say too many failed attempts, lock system is broken. So you can either win... So you can lose by running out of flashbangs to get out of here and dying by the monster, which just happened. But you can win if you get all the car parts and then you start the car and you can escape. Or you can go and find the numbers for the lock and you can grab the guns and kill the monster. So that's how to play the survivor. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, playing the monster is actually quite difficult when you're first getting started. I'm still not very good at it, but if you look in the bottom right corner, you have a couple different actions. The middle one is space, and that's just kind of like a jump. And then if you see the background kind of like goes from light to dark, that means that's your like cooldown. And then if you look in the middle, that's like a little radar. So if you see the little red warning sign, that means that a noise has occurred over there, which is why you can't really see that well. Speaking of not seeing that well, if you press E, that gives you a temporary boost of clarity to be able to see better. You can also sprint by holding Shift. So you kind of want to just basically look for the sound alerts that go off in the bottom middle. And if they're smaller, that means they're farther. If they're larger, that means they're closer. So that's going to usually be an indicator that a human or a survivor is actually that way. It's also possible for them to set up radios and other distractions like crows. So keep that in mind. And then the last one is actually, so the crows just went off. So that's why you can see that little warning sign there. You can actually press Q as your last action as the monster, and it sends you sprinting. However, a lot of the time, you can actually get stuck on trees and rocks, so you can actually combo the sprint with the jump, and it actually makes it so you don't bonk as much, I found out. So you have the clarity, you have the jump, and then you have the sprint. And then also as the monster, when you finally find someone, you want to go ahead, get near them, and then press F. Also, I had mentioned the thunderstorm. When it thunderstorms, the vision stops being blurry, but you don't get these little like red sound alert cues. So you have to keep that in mind. So that's basically how you play the monster. It's really that simple. So that's really just the bare bone basics that you need in order to play in silence. Because I know I would rather watch a short video like this instead of having to read a whole bunch of text on the how-to menus, because I'm more of a visual learner, so I like to see things happen instead of actually going through and reading the text word by word. So if this video has helped you out, help me out by tickling that like button, make it turn blue, and I would really appreciate it. If you have any other requests for other horror game guides or any horror game related videos, then just leave a comment down below and I'll get right to it. So thanks for watching, my dudes, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey you! Yeah, you! Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Clearly, if you made it to the end, you've already hit the like button. Oh, wait? You haven't? Oh, go ahead. I'll wait. Ah, sweet. Thanks, my man. Might as well head over and hang out with us live on Twitch, too. So go head on over, and I'll see you there.